What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Friday, and we are going to wrap up this week of back to school movies as we discuss With Honors, starring Brendan Fraser, Joe Pesci, Moira Kelly, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Hamilton, Gore Vidal, and Claudia Haro. What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in today once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Friday. It's finally Friday. Time for the weekend. Time to unwind. No rest for the wicked, though. We got a huge weekend filled up for me over here in the studios. But I digress. You're not here to hear about that, at least not just yet. Right now, you are here to hear me discuss With Honors. And as our movie opens, Montgomery Monty Kessler is a senior majoring in government at Harvard University and is sharing a home with his friends, art student Courtney, womanizing radio disc jockey Everett, and neurotic medical student Jeff. Now, while Monty is working on his senior thesis, which takes a pessimistic view of citizens on public assistance, a power outage completely ruins his computer's hard drive. When he rushes out to print a backup copy of his thesis, he trips on the street and breaks his leg and ends up dropping his thesis down a grating into the boiler room underneath Widener Library. There, Monty finds a homeless man who resembles the writer Walt Whitman, burning his thesis page by page. Monty calls the campus police, who arrest the man, but they are unable to recover his thesis. In court, Monty learns that the man's name is Simon Wilder. And although Simon manages to get the worst of the charges against him dismissed, he is held in contempt of court, for which Monty pays his fine. Now, despite Simon's anger over Monty having had him arrested, they work out a deal. For every service that Monty provides, Simon will return one page of his thesis. Monty brings Simon home with him, where he lets him stay in a broken down van in the backyard. Over time, Monty and Simon become close, and Monty even confides in him about his absent father, and Simon helps him see poor people like himself as human beings. He also shows Monty his collection of stones, each one representing a significant memory from his life. Monty's roommates, over time, begin to like the arrangement of Simon living there as well, with Courtney even going as far as to appreciate Monty's newfound open mindedness, and Everett giving Simon wine in exchange for repairing the van. However, Jeff refuses to let Simon stay in the house's basement on one particularly cold night, just in case his parents visit. When Monty lies to Simon about why he can't come in the house, Simon ends their deal and leaves. While everyone goes home for the Christmas vacation, Monty stays in order to recompose his thesis. Simon enlists a friend in order to deliver the original thesis back to Monty, who reveals where Simon is staying, but tells him that he doesn't want to see him. Monty ends up finding Simon living on the street, coughing and wheezing due to years of exposure to asbestos in the U.S. Merchant Marines. Monty allows Simon to live in the house and refuses his offer of a new deal. Simon gets disability benefits in order to help contributing to the rent, while Monty decides to completely rewrite his thesis. Courtney and Everett are supportive of Simon's moving in, but Jeff is still unwelcoming. Realizing the seriousness of his illness, Simon writes his own obituary, which reveals that he left his wife and child in order to join the Merchant Marines. Although initially angry, Monty eventually forgives him, taking him as a guest to a campus pajama party. As Monty watches Courtney dance with another man, Simon encourages Monty to confess his love for her. Courtney reciprocates and they begin a relationship. Monty then agrees to drive Simon to visit the son that he once abandoned, Frank, despite the fact that doing so will delay the completion of his thesis. All of the roommates, including Jeff, who has finally come to see Simon's humanity, make the long drive. Upon arrival, Frank bitterly berates Simon for leaving him and is dismissive when Simon's granddaughter asks who the man daddy talking to is. Before leaving, Simon adds a stone to his collection. Simon's condition begins to deteriorate on the drive back to the house, and the roommates stay up all night reading Walt Whitman to him before he peacefully passes away. At his funeral, Monty tearfully reads Simon's obituary, where he refers to the roommates as his family and states that Monty will graduate life with honor and without regret. Monty meets with his mentor, Professor Pitcairn, and explains why he changed his thesis to a more optimistic subject. Pitcairn accepts his explanation but informs him that he will not graduate with honors due to the lateness of the thesis. Monty thanks him for his mentorship and then returns the Walt Whitman book to Widener Library, symbolically leaving Simon's spirit there. The roommates all graduate, and Monty begins his very own collection of memory stones as our movie comes to its close. I'm not sure why I avoided this film for so long. I'm a huge Brendan Fraser fan, have been for a long time. Huge Joe Pesci fan, have been for a long time. But for some reason, I've always stayed away from this film. And I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because Joe Pesci, to me, kind of resembled Robin Williams in this film, at least in the artwork and the way he had the full beard and the hair and everything. Because you think of Joe Pesci, he's usually clean shaven, short hair. And here he is with like longer hair, a beard, kind of looking like, when Robin Williams really grows it out. And maybe I felt like he was trying to be Robin Williams in the artwork. So I just was like, nah, nobody can be Robin Williams. So I'm staying away from this. Maybe it was Harvard because I never really related to Harvard. Maybe it was just college all the way around because I never completed college. Truth be told, I was a fuck up in college. I don't usually use that language on this show, but I'm going to be real right now. I was the guy who enrolled in college classes and then ditched classes to go play games in the game room. I'd attend classes for a few weeks and then I'd just get bored and stop. With a few exceptions. There were a few classes that I actually did go through the entire term. But most of them I just got over. And I would rather hang out with my buddies as opposed to go to class. So maybe that was part of it. Is that this was a film about graduating with honors, and I never really completed college. whatever it was, I'm glad I went back and I watched it because I thoroughly enjoyed this film. And again, it's one that I regret not having watched before now, as has been a common theme with some of these movies that I do here on Renegades Reviews. If for whatever reason I avoided this film and I go back and I sit down and I watch it in order to review it for you, my fans, I'd say 7 out of 10 times, maybe 8 out of 10 times, I really enjoy the film and I regret not having seen it sooner. And this definitely falls into that category. I kind of spoke on Wednesday about Matthew Lillard and how he's a gem of an actor that doesn't get the praise that he deserves. Brendan Fraser is the same way, and this movie is one of those roles. This is the third Brendan Fraser school movie. School Ties, Encino Man, and this. All of them are good in their own way. Yeah, Encino Man is more goofball, but School Ties and With Honors are a lot more serious and show a different side of Brendan Fraser that you often don't get because everybody remembers the goofball that would appear in movies like Encino Man, George of the Jungle, Deadly Do-Right, or they remember the action Brendan Fraser that appeared in the Mummy series. But a lot of people gloss over Brendan Fraser, the dramatic actor, and this is a movie that really shows the dramatic side of Brendan Fraser. I highly recommend this film. I'm curious to know what you guys think of it, but when it comes to me and my rating, I'm going to give With Honors 4 out of 5 stars. The cast was superb, the writing was great, Harvard was the perfect choice, and Brendan Fraser and Joe Pesci both really shined in this film. Period. Joe Pesci showed there's more to him than the slapstick, bumbling villain in Home Alone and the foul-mouthed mafia guy that you know from most of his movies. And Brendan Fraser brought out a dramatic side to him that really doesn't get talked about in retrospect, and it's a shame. 4 out of 5 stars for me when it comes to With Honors. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in later on this evening, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media as we wrap up our 3 days in a row watch along coverage with AEW Rampage Grand Slam. 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, across the multiverse of media. Once again, it'll be myself and the Simple Man Noah Foster on commentary, giving you our live reactions and our play-by-play commentary for the second of AEW's yearly Grand Slam specials, AEW Rampage Grand Slam. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, will be another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. We're going to be taking a look at the Disney Plus miniseries, Secret Invasion, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Kingsley Ben Adir, Killian Scott, Dermot Mulroney, Emilia Clarke, Olivia Colman, Don Cheadle, Colby Smulders, and Martin Freeman. This is something that was supposed to be discussed about a month or so ago, but for whatever reason, I just didn't get to it at the time. Finally got it completed, notes taken, and I will be giving you my review of it tomorrow on Renegades Reviews. And then later on in the evening, once again, here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be time for the Saturday night shenanigans that are open mic night. Myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, will both be in the house, along with whoever else decides to step through the doors up to the microphone and engage us in the week that is professional wrestling. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. AEW Rampage Grand Slam, Secret Invasion, Open Mic Night, and one more week of back-to-school films right here on Renegades Reviews, exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Brendan Fraser, fans of Joe Pesci, fans of Patrick Dempsey, fans of Moira Kelly, anybody you can think of who would enjoy this content in this video. Share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.